double teams, trying to stay alive in the college football playoff race. But here in Atlanta, we've got a team that controls their destiny. The Ramblin' Wreck are going to host the Canes. Bob Wischusen alongside Louis Riddick. Chris Budden is with us as well. Georgia Tech, Miami, and for the U, Lou, it is all out there in front of them. They've got the best player arguably in college football, and they right now are number 4 in these brand new college football playoff standings.
Yeah, and that best player is Cam Ward now. I mean, he is the leader in FBS in terms of touchdown passes. He is number 2 in touchdown yards, and he's the conductor. He's the conductor of the most explosive offense in college football. Whether you're talking about scoring, you're talking about total yards, you're talking about passing yards, he can do it all. And it's about the style in which he does it. Just take a good look at him here today when he's on this football field. He never looks stressed. He looks like he's just playing in his backyard, and that's exactly what the coaches want him to play like. They want him to play loose, want him to play free. He's the unquestioned leader. He is the alpha. He is in control of this football team on the football field, and he'll need to be at his best today.
Miami began the season as the preseason number 19 in both polls. Well, the last time they started 10-0 was back in 2017. They haven't been 11-0 since back in 2002 when they finished as the national runners-up. Now they're number 4. And the committee made their voices heard for the first time on Tuesday night and stamped Miami as the number 4 team in America for Mario Cristobal.
There's no question. They're awful strong. They're strong on the front line, both offensively and defensively. They've shown you over the past 2 weeks they can run the football over 200-plus yards rushing in both games in the past 2 weeks. And we already know about Cam Ward. Defensively, they can rush the passer. A little banged up in the secondary, but this is a complete football team, Bob. And they plan on trying to show that here today.
Miami won the toss. They deferred their option to the second half, so it will be Georgia Tech that begins with the football. They have the very dangerous Eric Singleton back deep to receive the kick if he gets a chance to return it. He's going to bring it out. And he will not get much buried at the 15-yard line. Well, Chris Budden, we wondered who the quarterback would be for Georgia Tech. We're about to get our answer.
I was told the decision was just made minutes ago in the locker room that Haynes King, who injured his shoulder 2 games ago, will start this game. He went through pregame warm-ups, then went back into the locker room to talk to the trainers and gave the coaching staff that he was good to go. That injured shoulder is the same thing he suffered back when he played at Texas A&M. He cannot re-injure it running the football or by taking a hit. So the concern is not with running the rock. It's how he looks throwing the ball, Bob.
And he's got Jamal Haynes also with an injured shoulder that the bye week certainly helped heal to his left in the backfield. There goes Singleton in motion, and they're going to start with a jet sweep, and Singleton is going to lose a yard. So we wonder with Haynes King how limited Lewis he is going to be, and now they're going to start behind the chains, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, this is just not where they want to live against this Miami Hurricane defense. They do not want to be in 2nd and long, where Haynes then has to try and push this ball down the field. That's really going to be the role, maybe of the number 2 quarterback, Aaron Philo, if he gets into this football game. But see, now Miami's got him right where they want him.
They're going to run it again with Haynes, who's into the secondary. He breaks free. Jamal Haynes all the way down close to the red zone before he's finally brought down. The ball popped out, but they will rule him down at the 21-yard line. Jaden Harris, O.J. Frederic saved the touchdown.
Just look at the blocking here at the point of attack. They're going to get 2 pullers coming to your right, and they just absolutely just cave the interior of the defense of the Miami Hurricanes, and you just see Jamal Haynes just getting the ball north and south and just turning it loose. This offensive line, something that head coach Brent Key takes a lot of pride in, being a former Georgia Tech offensive lineman himself. They have to win the line of scrimmage. They have to run the football. Excellent start.
Quarterback run. Haynes King hunting some room, and he's got 5. That's one way to take some pressure off of your quarterback at an injured throwing shoulder. Bust one for 65 yards, and then he proves he can bob his way for about 5 as well. So 2nd and 5 in the red zone, and he has not had to put the ball in the air for Brent Key yet?
That's an ideal start, absolutely ideal start. Jamal Haynes, pound for pound, Brent Key has told us, the toughest player on this football team. And Haynes King, he just elevates everyone. They play more confidently when he's on the football field, and you can see it here early.
Haynes, jump cut, end zone, touchdown.
The exact same kind of look. You're going to get down, down, double pullers, and just look, a gap scheme is what they call it. And you just see them at the point of attack. They have angles on everyone, and then you see the little cut right there on the second level from Jamal Haynes and getting it into the end zone. This is one of the better running teams that you're going to see in college football. And Jamal Haynes is one of the better running backs you'll see in college football. You couldn't ask for a better start, Bob. I mean, Jamal Haynes, Haynes King, just running this football right at the heart of this Miami defense, and here we got it, 7-0 early.
First step of the red zone, and then he eventually, from 16 yards out, found the end zone. His 9th rushing touchdown of the season, and Jamal Haynes touchdown, and those 2 big runs takes the pressure off of Haynes King, who never had to test that throwing shoulder on the opening possession of the game. And now Miami will begin with the football for the first time, and they will begin with a quarterback that they have rallied their entire season around.
Cam Ward is an elite leader, complete and utter alpha dog, restless for excellence.
Very vocal. He's going to speak what's on his mind. People are going to listen because they respect him so much.
He's looking to bring other people up, looking to bring not just the offense up, but the whole team up. And it's great to have a leader like that on the team.
And for a quarterback that began his collegiate career at Incarnate Word as a 0-star recruit out of high school, ends up at Washington State, now at the U. Mark Fletcher to his right, and they begin it on the ground. And Fletcher pushes the pile for about a yard and a half. It's amazing how quickly this whole program has just kind of orbited now around Cam Ward and his abilities, Lewis.
Yeah, that was the thing that they felt as though that they needed really to make this program build complete. They needed a trigger man. They've always been able to get the players at all the other positions. They just needed to solidify that position. And you just see how it can take it and just absolutely turbocharge the rest of the program.
And there goes his #1 target, Xavier Restrepo. He looks that way. Instead, it's up the seam. And in stride, he's got Elijah Arroyo. Oh, the tight end. Eyes on the end zone. There's the Canes answer. 74 yards. Been an interesting 3 minutes of football we've played.
I mean, it's just explosive plays all over the field. Wait till you get a look at this. Wait till you just see this throw and the anticipation from Cam Ward. The trust between him and Elijah Arroyo. You're going to see Arroyo right here. And just watch when he then lets this ball go. Arroyo's not even looking. He just kind of jogs off the line, allows the receiver to clear, and Cam Ward has the ball basically waiting for him when he turns his head to look after Sam Brown just kind of clears out, and he puts it right on him. Look, just watch Arroyo as he's running. He's just jogging, letting Sam Brown clear. He turns around, the ball's right on his number. He has no other choice but to catch it, and then it's just a foot race to the end zone. That is ultimate trust in your quarterback, knowing he's going to put the ball where it needs to be put. You just need to run the route the way he expects you to, and then you just let your athletic ability take over. And you see Cam Ward just going, "Hey, look, man, that's what you come to expect from me." He's in total control of this offense. He never flinches. He never doubts. Oh, offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson told us, look, we have total faith in his ability to direct everything out here on the football field, no matter what the circumstances are. He's going to always deliver his best, and there's an example of it.
Last season, Miami tight ends for the season, 154 yards receiving and a touchdown. Arroyo, he basically had half that production on that play. As Singleton brings it out, right back where we started. Tied at 7. And Georgia Tech will begin at their 17-yard line as we take a look at our road test, brought to you by Goodyear. Early look at your keys to the game, Lewis.
Yeah, take what the defense is giving them. What I'm saying by that is, look, if they're playing too high, run the football. Single high, exploit the matchups. Well, Miami can do it all. You've already seen that. Communication in the secondary, no coverage busts. They're going to have to tighten down some things defensively, especially against the run. For Georgia Tech, win the time of possession. 5 plays of 20-plus yards. They've already produced a couple explosives. You know how important that is. And defensively, neutralize Xavier Restrepo, the career leader in receiving yards for the University of Miami. We haven't heard from him yet, but we will, and they're going to have an answer for him.
And already a quarterback change for Georgia Tech. The freshman Aaron Philo is out there to run possession number 2. Although they're going to go right back to the ground attack. And Ruben Hurricane Bain Jr. is all over Jamal Haynes, a gain of a couple. And we have an injured Kane. Simeon Barrow is down. So Miami, with one of their starting defensive tackles down, runs the trainers out. And we've got an injured Yellow Jacket as well. And that's Haynes. Jamal Haynes, a little slow to come off the field. Remember, he has a shoulder injury that was helped by the bye week, so we'll check on his status when we come back. 4 national championships in an 8-year span from the 80s through the early 90s, and then, of course, a 5th in 2001. This team would love to join that group for the U. Jamal Haynes, very slow to walk off while we were away. He is in the Georgia Tech injury tent. Simeon Barrow was taken off slowly to the UM sideline as well, so we'll try to check on both of those 2 players. 2nd down and 8 for Georgia Tech after the 2 teams trade touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of action. Again, Aaron Philo in at quarterback with Chad Alexander now in at tailback. Philo to throw, finds a crosser, breaking a tackle is Singleton. And he fights his way for about 3 yards. Tyler Barron brings him down. Let's go to Chris.
Yeah, a little bit more details on the Jamal Haynes injury. He took a hit to the head, and as soon as he stood up, had trouble getting his bearings, tried to walk off on his own, and then could not stand up. Had to be helped by 2 trainers into the injury tent. This is a kid who has been banged up since the start of fall camp.
Yeah, Lewis, you said he took a wicked hit at the line of scrimmage.
He sure did. Safety Jaden Harris came in there at the end and finished that play off with a brutal shot. But you can see why he may have been dazed coming off the field. Vicious shot.
So now without a big play running back and with the backup quarterback, a true freshman facing 3rd down. Philo underneath, the ball pops up in the air. There's another big hit. Darryl Porter Jr. was there to jar the football free and deny a 3rd down conversion to the Yellow Jackets. They'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, that's just a nice clean play right there by Darryl Porter. Just sitting in a cover 2. He's just sitting there reading the route combination, playing it deep to short, and just puts his shoulder on the receiver and separates the receiver from the football. Darryl Porter, he struggled last week in the slot against Duke. They moved him outside now here in their base defense where they think he's going to be a little bit more comfortable. And you see right there, just lets his instincts take over. Big play on 3rd down.
Line drive kick. Ray Joseph gets hit and walloped just as it arrives. 44-yard punt and no return. Special teams tackle made by Pritchett. Let's go back to Matt Barry.
Okay, Bob, happy College Football Saturday. Time now for your Fairfield by Marriott Studio update. And Navy early on is just having their way with South Florida. This Eli Heidenreich, 60 yards for the touchdown. Navy's already scored another one. It is 14-0 early.
And what a terrific season it has been for the academies. So Cam Ward in a 7-7 tie, now back to work after his quick strike touchdown on the opening drive. Well protected, but a batted ball at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Zeke Biggers that got a hand on it. A second down and 10 for Miami at their own 33.
When you see big Zeke Biggers, 6'6", 320 pounds, when you can't get to the quarterback, stop your rush, try and time the jump, get your hands up. And Zeke Biggers, you can only imagine how tall he is at 6'6", how tall he becomes when he gets that hand up in the air.
He's blocked a couple of field goals this year.
He sure has, two
as
of them.
well. That's a large human. Hard to kick it over him, hard to throw it over him. Blitz coming. One-on-one to the outside. On time. Boy, is that an NFL throw. Sam Brown Jr. perfectly placed by Cam Ward at the sideline for 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, it's just what you call a speed out. You're going to see Cam. He's just going to throw it in rhythm. He's going to hit that back foot plant and then just drive the football out there to the sideline. And Sam Brown just smooth at 6'2", 195 pounds.
Little zone read. Out of bounds outside for Fletcher. And he is tracked down after a gain of about 4 by E.J. Lightsey.
And it's not just the passing game that is making this offense so dangerous. I talked about it in the open. This running game has really got going for this Miami Hurricanes team. 219 yards against Louisville, 230 against Florida State. Offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson knows that the running game is going to become crucial as competition ramps up here late in the season.
Or changing the play, possibly. Plenty of time on the play clock. Four-man rush. Again, Restrepo. First down and more to the 30-yard line. And now Xavier Restrepo is all alone as the leading pass catcher in Miami history. He already broke Reggie Wayne's yards record last week. That's career catch number 183, is by himself in the Miami record books.
Yes, Restrepo just running a quick out, another speed out. See how he just rolls it quickly. And then you can see Clayton Powell-Lee playing him inside out. He has no shot to match that pattern. That's just what he makes a living off of. He's just going to run away from your leverage, get open. Cam Ward's going to put it on him.
One-on-one, Sam Brown Jr. just out of his reach in the end zone.
Georgia Tech going just with a little bit of man coverage with the single safety in the middle of the field. Sam Brown just running what they call the slot fade from the inside, fading away to the boundary. Cam just overshoots him just a bit, otherwise that would have been 6. You've got to slow these wide receivers down at the line of scrimmage. They're just too good as route runners. If you let them have free releases and you don't get any heat on this quarterback, there's a reason why he has thrown 29 touchdowns already this season.
And Restrepo, the motion man. Fletcher up the middle. And a third down chance now for Georgia Tech's defense after a 5-yard gain. Omar Daniels made the stop. This is where Georgia Tech has to get stops against this Miami offense. Number 1 in America in points and yards, right? You got at some point to force them to kick threes.
And this is where Mario Cristobal said he has a lot of respect for Tyler Santucci, the D coordinator for Georgia Tech. He said their third down blitz packages are elite. They need to disrupt Cam Ward. From a coverage perspective, you got to take care of Restrepo. You got to make sure that you come down on him here and don't give him too much room to work.
A lot of communication for Georgia Tech on defense. Ward going home. Fires it way over the head of Brown. So that's a win for the Georgia Tech defense.
Absolutely. A little bit of a miss. As far as what Cam Ward was expecting, he had Elijah Arroyo open down the middle of the field. You're going to see him here. He's going down the middle of the field uncontested, but there was some miscommunication here on the outside as far as what the receivers were supposed to do, in particular Sam Brown Jr. You see him there looking back at Cam. They weren't on the same page. You can best believe Cam will get them together on the sideline and get that ironed out.
Andres Borregales from 41. So Miami takes the lead. But that's the number 1 scoring offense and number 1 team in total offense that has to settle for a field goal. Playoff predictor, and Lewis, the percentages, they are tilted in Miami's favor.
Yeah, no question. Reach the 12-team playoff. You see it there at 90%. To win the ACC, 63%. Reaching the national championship. And win the national championship at just 8%. Look, I think obviously that's largely subjective at this point in time because anything can happen once you get into CFB.
You agree with those numbers?
You know what? I'll tell you, yeah, by and large, yes.
Okay.
This is a strong football team. They're going to have some answers on the defensive side of the ball. You see, they can be vulnerable from time to time. And offensively, they have some fits and starts. They usually go through a lull period, Bob. Here in the second quarter, then in the second half, they turn it back on. We'll see if they can smooth out a little bit of that performance.
Time now for our weekend lineup, brought to you by Wendy's Saucy Nugs, and some huge games today in the SEC. Of course, Georgia, Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins that game. They have to fall up into college football playoff consideration. And is that a playoff game between Alabama and LSU tonight on ABC? You have to think so.
Absolutely. And that battle down there at Ole Miss between them and Georgia, that's a heavyweight battle of the Titans.
And now Haynes King back in at quarterback. And he's going to try and run it, and he's not going to go anywhere. And Chris Budney is also now without his number one running back.
Yeah, it appears Jamal Haynes' day is done. He came out of the injury tent, and the athletic trainers took his helmet. He walked off and then gave his gloves to a group of small boys in the stands, and the look on his face just distraught as a player who has just struggled to remain healthy and be able to play this season.
So no Jamal Haynes. Can Haynes King throw the ball? Looks like they're going to line up and run Wildcat here with Chad Alexander, as Haynes King is going to run a trick play. He's going to roll out, flip one in the right flat. Little creativity there. You like that look? Jackson Hawes, the tight end, comes up about 2, maybe 3 yards short of a first down.
And Brent Key, the head coach of Georgia Tech, told us all the different motions and shifts that they use. They really want to distort the picture for this Miami Hurricane defense. Make them think, make them slow down just a bit in terms of where they fit and what their reads are post-snap. And they're going to have to do that a lot more now. I mean, offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner is going to have to be at his very best from a play-calling perspective against this stout Miami Hurricane front.
Third down, trying to keep the drive alive. End around. Malik Rutherford. He's got it.
Malik Rutherford, the dynamic slot player for Georgia Tech. He was one of 2 guys that Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, said have to have critical games, big-time games, produce explosive plays. He, along with Eric Singleton Jr., who is just a blazer on the outside. And you're going to see now, they're going to have various ways to get these guys to football. It's not just going to be on passes down the field. It will be jet sweeps, reverses, wide receiver screens. They have to play big, especially now that Jamal Haynes is out of the game.
Again, they work the perimeter. Singleton, he gets popped hard at about the 41-yard line.
Again, though, you see all the motions and the way in which they're trying to get these guys out on the edges with their speed. And this Miami Hurricanes defense is going to have to pursue inside out and put big hits on people like that right there from Chase Smith. When you have littler runners, and there you go.
Did Chase Smith use the crown of the helmet?
And you've seen already there have been 2 just really impactful hits so far in this football game. One that knocked Jamal Haynes out of the game, delivered by Jaden Harris. And then here you can see Chase Smith coming inside out on the ball. That's top of the helmet. That's crown of the helmet.
That is certainly the type of hit that they do not want in the game. Now, again, this is a runner. This is not a defenseless player. So the only form of targeting you could have is crown of the helmet. Matt Austin is our officiating expert. We can bring him in. And Matt, are they still looking for an indicator here, some type of launch? In your opinion, is just crown of the helmet there enough for this to be targeting?
Bob, I think you hit the nail on the head. Is this an attack, or is the defender absorbing the blow from the runner? He does lower his head. There is contact with the crown of the helmet, but that's going to be crucial, whether they deem this an indicator or not. In my opinion, I don't think it is. I think he's just lowering his head to get lower, and they hit. So It's going to be interesting.
It's the only thing I would say to that. Look, that's a very dangerous play for the defender.
There is no targeting on the play. It'll be second down.
So there it is. There's not that indicator, that launch or attack, as Matt Austin said. But at the same time, you don't want to see the player lower the head like that.
Absolutely, because it's not just dangerous to the offensive player. You see the position his head was in and his neck was in, that being Chase Smith. That's dangerous to him. And that's part of the intent in terms of trying to reduce headshots in this game as well, to protect defenders as well.
Going all the way back to the days of leather helmets when you played, Lewis.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that was a low blow. I shouldn't have said that. But no, going all the way back to when you played, what were you taught? What were you told by your coaches?
See what you hit. Keep your eyes up. Put your face mask on the ball carrier, not the crown of your helmet. Don't duck your head. I mean, you're putting yourself at severe risk when your head gets caught in that position as a tackle.
They're trying to help Chase Smith as much as they are the player that gets it.
Exactly.
Ball fake by King, and he spins about a yard short of the first down. There's Chase Smith, stays in the game, and ends up making another tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for Georgia Tech at their own 45.
Now it'll be interesting to see how they continue to attack in the run game, that being Georgia Tech. Does Buster Faulkner continue to try and work the edges as he's shown on this drive with some of the jet sweeps? They've had a lot of success on the gap scheme runs with pullers and down blocks when Jamal Haynes was in the game. Can Chad Alexander do the same?
They slip one out on the edge. And a first down. Jackson Hawes from Haynes King. Haynes King, number 6 in America in completion percentage at over 71%.
And you just see the effect of Haynes King being in the game. You see how predisposed the defenders are to defending the run. That time you saw Cam Pruitt, 22-7, Jaden Harris. They were waiting for Haynes to go ahead and hand that ball off. Weren't expecting him to pull it, and he gets out on the edge. He has the pass option. They pick up the first down. That's the problem that Haynes King presents to a defense.
Abdul Jannah circles in motion. King runs again. He's got 4 more. Can they live in this world, though, with Haynes King? I mean, at some point, does he have to prove that he can push the ball down the field, or can they run this offense in a phone booth and play with Miami?
Well, I think they want a little bit of both, Bob. I mean, they obviously want to have some explosive component as far as the passing game is concerned, but there's no mistaking the fact that they want to hog the ball. They want to win the time of possession. They want to keep Cam Ward off the field. And as you see here, look how much they're taking their time here in the huddle when Haynes is in the game. They're trying to methodically move this football down the field, but no question they need to produce some explosives in the pass game.
Again, it's King. And Haynes King, very close to a first down. Might be a foot short. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd down again. 3rd down and less than 1.
Just look at how the ball handling has an effect again on these second-level defenders. When Haynes King rides that ball in there to a guy like Chad Alexander, the linebackers go.
Quarterback sneak and a little touch push. Chad Alexander helping Haynes King pick up the first down. And Haynes King very slow to get up after the quarterback sneak. He needed a little help. And he's looking over to the sideline. He's coming out. Aaron Philo is going to come in to replace Haynes King.
And this is where the play action...
Or will they both stay in the game? We've got 2 quarterbacks in the huddle. Hello. This could be interesting.
Show them a little something that they haven't seen before, the Miami defense. Now it's going to be about how do they adjust on that side of the ball. You just don't know what's coming.
Haynes King with the zone read to the other quarterback. And Miami wasn't fooled as they gang tackle him at the line of scrimmage. They're going to pull out all the stops today, Georgia Tech. Let's see if they leave both quarterbacks on the field. No, now Philo is going to come out.
Well, here comes Haynes. I think Philo's just getting a different helmet. He's going back in the game. But you know, this just sets up for the play-action passing game. The run game has been effective so far. Haynes making great decisions on the zone reads and on the RPOs. Now give him the same look, same type of action, and then pull it and throw it. If you're Miami, you have to be alert of that, especially in the secondary now. Different quarterback, different set of problems.
And all this pre-snap motion, and that's going to be a motion penalty. That ball was snapped with half the offense, it seemed, moving around for Georgia Tech. So obviously that's an illegal shift. although immediately tackling the ball carrier, the UM defense. Be interesting to see if Mario Cristobal takes this penalty.
Illegal shift on the offense. Plays begin the shift will not set before the ball is snapped. It's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Would you take the penalty? You could make it third down and long if you decline.
I mean, he only gained, what, maybe a yard if he was going to decline it. Really didn't get any yardage on the gain. I guess he just wants to continue to push him back. He may have gained maybe a yard.
Yeah, a couple yards.
Gretchen Money is elected to decline that foul. It'll be third down.
So there it is. They're going to take third down and 9 rather than accept the penalty after only a 1-yard gain. And now this is, rather than the third and shorts that Georgia Tech has had so far on this drive, Lewis, a totally different down and distance situation.
Yeah, this is where they need more. The University of Miami had guys like Tyler Barron, one of their best pass rushers. They are great on stunts and twists. They really do move well up front. But keep an eye on number 9. Keep an eye on number 4, Ruben Bain. On the edges, these guys are studs. They can get after the passer.
Play clock at 4. Empty backfield. And I think Brent Key's going to call a timeout. Well, they wanted to do some pre-snap shifting.
Be a 30-second timeout.
Maybe get Miami to tip their hand defensively, and Brent Key looked up at the play clock. They came out of the huddle with only about 11 seconds on the play clock, so they will spend a timeout. The 11th play of this drive, trying to keep it alive on third down and 9. Coming up tonight at 8 Eastern on the ACC network. Number 18 Pitt will square off against UVA. It's Virginia and Pittsburgh. Available on the ESPN app as well, so you can watch anywhere. As outside of Miami and SMU, got 3 other teams that are kind of on life support in the ACC to win an ACC title and possibly make it to the college football playoff. And Lewis, your alma mater, they're hanging on with a 3% chance.
Yeah, they're fighting. Look, they had a disappointing performance a week ago against SMU, who we saw earlier in the season, and how explosive they are at Louisville. How about that performance down in Clemson? Some big-time football here. And we got some big-time football right here on this third down.
Philo extending the play on third down and 9. He's going to take off and run for it. And he's got it!
You're going to see the mistake Miami makes. Tyler Barron coming inside, and Aaron Philo just gets out on the perimeter. Not known as a runner. You see there, he didn't throw his progressions. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him and just decides to take off. Picks up the first down with his leg. Rush lane integrity, something that's awful important when you're playing against this Georgia Tech offense.
That's the end of the first quarter.
4 for 4 on third down. End of the quarter. 7:47 on this drive so far.
Important for your defense on this drive, particularly facing the 2 quarterbacks with different skill sets.
Well, first of all, be physical. I mean, that first drive, they ran counter right up our nose. We started to settle down a little bit on that second drive, and now they're kind of making these, first, second, third, and short drives, and they're sustaining that. We got to bow up. We got to be physical and get the ball back.
Well, one way to keep the number 1 scoring, number 1 total offense, number 3 time of possession offense in America down, hold them off the field.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Georgia Tech is doing on this drive to Miami.
Executing the game plan to a T, something they wanted to be intentional about.
Haynes King. A little shimmy shake out on the edge. He picks up a couple. Wesley Basaint brings him down. But this drive, Lewis, is about to go over 8 minutes for Georgia Tech. Ending the first quarter, beginning the second quarter. And so for a Miami team that averages close to 50 per game, it shortens the game.
Yeah, I promise you, head coach Brent Key is smiling. He don't smile a whole lot, but he's smiling right now as far as how this game is playing out.
And now it's Aaron Philo back in the game at quarterback. So the quarterback switching continues. Here's Chad Alexander. Speed to the edge into the red zone. The former walk-on makes it 1st and goal, Georgia Tech.
And again, attacking the edges. Again, you see they get after Tyler Barron, number 9. You see he takes that jab step inside and produces a soft edge. They have got to be more stout on the perimeter. You can see where Georgia Tech is trying to attack now. And that's twice now. Tyler Barron's come inside, giving up the edge as far as pass rush contained. And now on the quick outside hitter, Chad Alexander picks up a big gain.
Alexander stays in, a player that was put on scholarship on the 6th of October after a career high 61 yards rushing against North Carolina. Akeem Mesidor jumped in the neutral zone and then all the way into the backfield. And the officials deciding whether or not he was drawn off.
I think you see some movement. Keelan Rutledge on Georgia Tech's offensive line.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, first down.
I'm assuming they meant 77.
Yeah, you're going to see him.
I don't know, maybe it is 78.
Well, 77 and 78 moved because the right guard, I mean, Rutledge moved as well. You saw he lost his balance and had to put his other hand down. Regardless, it's a self-inflicted penalty. You just don't want to have that when you're down here in scoring position and you've been moving the ball effectively and establishing some rhythm in the run game.
Haynes King now back in. 1st and goal, but outside the 10-yard line. Jet sweep. Singleton inside the 5, looking for the pylon. Did he step out? Looks like he did at the 4-yard line. He gets 8. It'll be 2nd down and goal at the 4.
Again, you see the motion, the return motion on that play in particular of Eric Singleton. It has people in the secondary a little confused. Another soft edge. Singleton able to get outside and get on the perimeter quickly. You see him step out of bounds. The right foot just goes out of bounds. But they are getting on the edges fast and with intent. Trying not to run the football on the inside right now.
Alexander, nothing there. Boy, that door closed fast.
They went back to that counter action, that gap scheme action with the pullers, this time pulling the offside guard. Miami did a good job of getting penetration and blowing that up in the backfield, which is how you slow down gap scheme runs. You've got to play on their side of the line of scrimmage. And now here, a key 3rd down.
Ahmad Moten made that stop. 10.5 minutes on this drive.
Haynes King's legs. That's what comes into factor here.
3rd down and goal. Screen, Rutherford, hoping for a tunnel. Goal line! Is he in? Touchdown! Malik Rutherford puts Georgia Tech on top. Hiko Mauinoa couldn't bring him down.
Just see the left side of the Georgia Tech offensive line just getting out and getting in the way, getting bodies on bodies, and Malik Rutherford weaving his way through traffic. We said earlier, Malik Rutherford, Eric Singleton, that's who Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, said had to be big-time players for them. They would get the ball to them in different ways. You're seeing it play out.
And if Brent Key in a lab was going to draw up a drive that he would like to execute in this game, that's it.
Haynes King just with the quick pass. Malik Rutherford, do your thing. Just find the end zone. We're on the board once again.
This is the Veterans Week on ESPN, presented by USAA. The longest drive of the season for Georgia Tech by yards and time. 17 plays, 75 yards, 10 minutes and 45 seconds. It's been a long time since we've seen Camp Ward out on the field.
Bob, that's
amazing.
That's brutal right there. From a defensive perspective, that is brutal. That will take the life out of you. Miami cannot allow that to be the case the entire game. They're going to have to get some stops.
Here are this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Allstate. And now, Lewis, we put the top 12 on the board, naturally, because the committee has spoken. Here is the top 12 as things stand now. And Texas off to a good start against Florida. Ohio State the same against Purdue, and Miami struggling a bit here at Georgia Tech. A lot of night games as far as the top 12 is concerned as well. Now back to work, Cam Ward and UM. Damian Martinez, good run. That's a first down, although maybe they'll say he brought down a half-yard shy, so 9.5 yards on first down. LaMiles Brooks tripped him up, and the Canes right back at the line of scrimmage.
This run game from Miami, don't forget about it. Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher, both of these guys 220 plus, have been running with improved quickness and toughness, speed on the second level. This run game can rip you. They need to lean on it a little bit.
That's a first down carry. Not much more, but good enough for Martinez.
And there you see just how aggressive this Georgia Tech defense is. I mean, they have got tremendous speed and athleticism on the third level in the secondary. These safeties, whether it be LaMiles Brooks, Tay Seymour, Clayton Powell-Lee, they will come and they will put it on you. And one of my favorite players in college football, number 44, Kyle Eford, back in the lineup. The middle linebacker, the guy who I call Baby Bosworth, he's going to have to be a factor in this football game.
Play action. Ward out of the pocket. And a flag thrown in the secondary as Restrepo can't make a one-handed catch.
You're going to have defensive holding on Amari Harvey.
Holding. Defense, number 3, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that penalty goes against Amari Harvey. But there is something special in today's day and age about a neck roll linebacker. Isn't there, Lewis?
It sure is. I mean, Brian Bosworth from the 80s from the Oklahoma Sooners, one of the best college linebackers we'd ever seen. It was just and Kyle Eford, just a throwback really to that era. This is a guy who loves the game now. He was intense as heck yesterday when we talked to him here on the field after their practice, and someone who was looking forward to getting back out here with his guys and matching up against this high-powered Miami Hurricane offense. He is fun. We will call his name often today.
Out the last 2 games, still leads the team in tackles. A little bounce to the left for Damian Martinez. Tay Seymour brings him down, but that's a gain of 4 across the 50-yard line for the Canes.
You see the Canes again just starting to lean on this running game a little bit, seeing that they can establish the line of scrimmage, but make no mistake, Cam Ward will be looking for the big shot.
5-man rush. There is the big shot strike. Down inside the 5-yard line. A whole Canes sideline looking for a flag. A lot of Miami fans have made the trip to Atlanta. They thought Isaiah Horton was held by Amari Harvey, but no flag thrown.
You see Harvey just kind of squatting on the route, and you see him there grabbing the shoulder pad of Isaiah Horton. You see it there. I mean, that's holding. That's pass interference. You can't do it. Referees missed that call. That's a big break for Georgia Tech.
That makes it 3rd down and 6. Tech rushes 4. Ward floats one to the sideline incomplete, hoping for Jacoby George. Flag down in the offensive backfield. Holding against Miami, and it looks like Brent Key will decline.
Offense number 64. The penalties decline to be 4th down.
So 4 straight incompletions for Cam Ward, and Miami will punt.
They got the left tackle, Jalen Rivers, just grabbing and pulling the pass rusher to the ground. That's a good series right there for Georgia Tech. Playing physical, challenging routes down the field. They got away with the holding on Amari Harvey, but that's the kind of intensity they want to play with. It's hard to get this Miami offense off the field.
Dylan Joyce, the end-over-end punt. Bailey Stockton, the fair catch at the 11. Georgia Tech with the lead and the ball. 10 minutes to go before halftime. 1969. It looks more like they destroy tricycles rather than wreck them.
I was trying to figure that out.
They actually
there, Bob.
do literally wreck them. That is funny. 14-10, the Ramblin' Wreck with the lead on the Canes. They've got the football back. The last time they had the ball, the 2nd longest drive by time in Georgia Tech history at 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Back in 2009, they had a 10-minute and 47-second drive against Virginia. They go back to work here, and they run it up the middle with a true freshman, Anthony Carey. Only his 22nd carry of the season. He's got 2 yards. Jalen Alderman made the stop.
Again, continuing to use that gap action in terms of pullers, getting angles, trying to get some movement and create some creases in this run game. And you can see it there, 122 rush yards in the first quarter. I mean, that's doing work right now if you're Georgia Tech. And that's just going to play into your whole idea of trying to control the time of possession, which they have done fantastically.
And again, it's Haynes King at quarterback, and he'll hold on to it. About a yard short of the first down. C.J. Clark tripped him up. They'll mark him down just shy of the 20-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 6. And 7 different players now, Lewis, have rushed the ball for Georgia Tech. So they've mixed it up, all of those rushing yards, but they are keeping guys fresh. We're not expecting to see Jamal Haynes again, but they obviously are showing depth in terms of the number of guys that can carry the ball.
And you really like the way in which they're utilizing motion. Again, to put the second-level defenders, the linebackers of Miami, put them in conflict, put some doubt in their mind as to where the ball is going to be hitting. And as they adjust, they open creases in the run defense, and Georgia Tech's exploiting them.
Chad Alexander back in for 3rd down. Tunnel screen. Rutherford. He scored a touchdown on this play, but here he gets nothing. A helmet pops off of Ruben Bain, who was out there to help on the stop, at least a yard short of the first down. So after Georgia Tech on their previous drive was 5 for 5 on 3rd down, they come up short here.
That's a heck of a hit by Wesley Basaint. You see him there. He identifies the screen and comes inside out along with Ruben Bain.
Play clock's down to 10 as they are shortening the game.
Previous plays under further review. Looking at potential targeting.
And now they're going to take a look and see if Wesley Basaint came in and led with the crown of the helmet. They're going to take a look at that last collision again for targeting. The crowd saw that play up on the big board. They reacted. It looks like the replay booth is reacting as well. Watch number 31 come in. Right here.
I don't think that's going to be targeted.
Tuesday on ESPN.
Almost immediately as we went to break, Wesley Basaint was cleared of any targeting call. You can see him come in here, number 31 for the Canes. And Lewis, you predicted this, that he kept his helmet up, and it was really more the forehead than the crown.
Yeah, he didn't hit him with the top of the helmet. He saw what he was hitting right where the decal of the helmet meets the face mask at the top. We're moving on.
The punt from David Shanahan, and Ray Joseph lets it bounce, and it rolls dead at the 33-yard line. Back to Matt Barry.
Okay, big game, Bob. I've got your AT&T Multiview, which is keeping fans connected. A look at the noon window across the networks. Texas having their way with Florida. Everybody in that game's hurt. Navy up 14-0 against South Florida. Texas State up 21-0 on ESPNU.
We've got a much more interesting game here with Georgia Tech on top of number 4 Miami, 14-10, midway through the second quarter. And Ward with a handoff. And Damian Martinez pushes the pile. You think that 10.5-minute drive by Georgia Tech took Cam Ward out of his rhythm? He's missed on his last 4.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see whether or not it's something that is sustained here. Look, we've seen Miami do this before, where they hit lulls in terms of their rhythm and their execution in the course of games. And right now, they're in another one of them.
He's going to take off and dive for a first down here.
What happens, though, is they usually get it cranked back up in the second half, because Cam Ward, look, he'll gain his intel. He'll figure out what teams are trying to do to him defensively. and they'll crank it back up. And Georgia Tech's has to know that that's what's coming. That these guys are a second-half team that can really crank it up in the third and fourth quarters. You just have to stay fundamentally sound, rush the passer, play with good eye discipline.
Isaiah Horton across the 50-yard line. Amari Harvey bumped him out. It's going to be second down at about 3. And Miami, they are a dominant second-half team. They are not only leading FBS in scoring overall, but they lead FBS in second-half scoring differential. Even if they're playing you close, they have a way of coming from behind or blowing you out.
They can produce explosive plays in the blink of an eye. One of the very best in college football at doing it.
Martinez almost broke free to the 41-yard line of Georgia Tech. E.J. Lightsey was hanging on for dear life. Limited him to an 8-yard run, as Martinez is a top 5 rusher in terms of touchdowns so far in the ACC this year. Right back to him. Looking for some room, bobbing and weaving, and he's got about 5 more.
There you see that kind of slow developing inside running game where you just see the running back just kind of pick and slide and just really remain patient until he can identify a crease. And both Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher have shown over the past couple of weeks that they can get onto the second level and cause some damage. And that really takes its toll in the fourth quarter when these big backs are tough to bring down.
Restrepo tried to climb the ladder and couldn't haul it in. It's heavy third down now.
Cam just misses Restrepo on this one. He has him here. You're going to see him. He's going to get a good release right down the seam. You're going to see the defensive back, Clayton Powell-Lee, falls down as he's trying to go ahead and match the pattern. Could have had an explosive right there. He just missed it. Just airmailed it over his head. Restrepo's been quiet so far today. I only believe he has 1 catch. Georgia Tech was going to be intentional in trying to take him out of the game, and this is the situation where you need to make sure you know where 7 is on this third down.
Georgia Tech shows blitz. Are you bringing heat here?
I'm playing coverage in this situation.
They bring a blitz. It's one-on-one out on the edge. Isaiah Horton, he's got the first down.
So all Horton had to go down, make sure he had the yardage necessary, and just turn around and have Cam put it on him. He beat the blitz with the way he got the ball out of his hand so quick. Look, it's hard to fool Cam Ward. He's able to read it pre-snap and then adjust post-snap. And with how quick his arm is, he can beat your blitz because of the fact that his arm is just lightning fast, and you saw it right there.
Play action, tight end screen, Arroyo going nowhere. Oh, that was read almost immediately by Omar Daniels.
Omar Daniels is tracking him across the formation. You're going to see him. He's just going to track Arroyo across the formation in man-to-man coverage. Just keep your eyes on your work. Don't worry about anything else but looking at what your responsibility is and then fire downhill. That's his textbook. That's the way you draw it up. If you're Omar Daniels, you're going, job well done.
And now that bunch set for Miami, tight to the formation left. That can be hard to diagnose for a defense. There's the play action fake. Ward takes off. And it'll be third down again. He's to the 25-yard line. He gains 6. Lightsey was able to force him down, but another third down for Miami near the red zone.
And that's just great coverage on that second down play by the secondary of Georgia Tech. Playing good off-man coverage, making sure they're using your help. They're trying to double-team Restrepo in the slot. Again, you have to take care of Restrepo first, and you got to hold up on the outside because they have got some high risers, some guys with great catch radius on the outside.
10th play of this drive for the Canes, trying to keep it alive. Screen, Horton, short, and now what do you do? It's going to be 4th down and 3 at about the 23-yard line. A good tackle by Amari Harvey. And the offense looks over, and Mario Cristobal says we're going for it.
I don't think there's any question in Mario's mind that he was going for this all the way. He needs to keep his offense on the football field. They need to establish some more, of an identity in this football game. And again, where does it start with for Georgia Tech? Who do you take care of first? Always starts with number 7. He's the 3rd guy in the slot in this trip formation.
That's Arroyo in motion on 4th down. Cam Ward scanning. Cam Ward running. Cam Ward losing his balance. Flips one and complete. Georgia Tech gets the stop on downs. Sylvanian chewing all over Cam Ward.
Just playing a little bit of zone coverage. He had Restrepo maybe in the middle of the field. You're going to see him come over and just spot up right on the hash, right there in the middle of your screen. Cam decides not to throw it to him. He's looking for something bigger down the field, tries to reverse course. And Sylvanian Jewin, he has showed up over the past couple of weeks for this Georgia Tech defense. Lane integrity, rush with lane integrity, cage the quarterback. That's what Tyler Santucci told us that they have to do up front. Keep him in the pocket, keep hunting, keep pursuing. That's a big-time stop for the Georgia Tech defense.
So now Tech has 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout as well. They'll run it here with Alexander. He is buried by Ahmad Moten. Let's see if that takes us down to the 2-minute timeout. And Alexander is now hurt.
Timeout on the field for an injured player of the offense.
So Georgia Tech already down Jamal Haynes. Chad Alexander, a former walk-on who never carried the ball last season. He played 9 games on special teams, and he has become an important backup running back this season. He might be in trouble here as well.
I think you're going to see him get his lower leg rolled up on. Oh, it definitely gets caught up. I think his own teammate Joe Fusel may have fell on it.
The State Farm Champions Classic is coming up on Tuesday. Number 1 Kansas will take on Michigan State at 6:30 Eastern. And then we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. And after that, number 7 Duke will square off against number 23 Kentucky. So it's a big night on Tuesday. Of course, the brand new 12-team college football playoff. It is on the horizon. The 5 highest ranked conference champions get automatic bids. The 4 highest ranked champions get first round buys. The 7 at-large teams determined fill out the rest of the bracket. And again, what a first weekend it's going to be in the college football playoff, Lewis, when the first 4 games are hosted at on-campus sites where home crowds and home...
That's a 2-minute timeout.
Home student section's going to have a chance to cheer on their teams.
I mean, what a great scene that is going to be. This is a great scene here today. Yes. Sun's come out. Well, we got a ball game.
We're down to the 2-minute timeout.
Taking care of business against Florida today. Plus, Navy looking to right the ship. And gentlemen, it's coming. You just talked about the college football playoff. We have an elimination game tonight in Death Valley. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up at the half.
And Matty, that's going to be an amazing scene tonight. Always great when Alabama and LSU play. As Philo's going to take a shot for Singleton. Jump ball, tipped, almost intercepted. The first time that Georgia Tech, at least through the air, has pushed the ball down the field. Aaron Philo threw it deep. And Jaden Harris is hurt as Miami's secondary has a safety down.
They have absorbed some injuries in the secondary, in particular to the cornerback position, Jaden Harris. You're going to see him in the middle of the field trying to chase down this 7 route, this corner route by Eric Singleton. It's a nice play on the ball by O.J. Frederic, the freshman, to knock it away. Their depth is definitely getting tested in the secondary for Miami.
Like Jadis Richard, as you said, already out.
Yep.
14-10, Georgia Tech has the lead. Bob Wischusen here with Louis Riddick. Chris Budden is with us as well. Some important players now missing for both teams. And this is a game where it seems like the more that Georgia Tech shortens it, the more you wonder if Miami's going to be able to rev that offense back up.
Yeah, if you're Georgia Tech, on defense in particular, defensive coordinator Tyler Santucci in the second half has to be ready for the onslaught, right? You know that they do a great job of adjusting coming out of the half, and all of a sudden picking up the tempo, and then Cam Ward gets hot and says, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to put it on me.
Right.
So you have to be prepared for that kind of renewed intensity. But if you're Georgia Tech right now, I mean, you're executing to a T exactly what you wanted. Control the game on the ground, take opportunistic shots down the field, just like they just did right there, and try and execute that again for a second half.
Now this becomes a huge play. You've got a third down before halftime.
Yep.
Miami has their timeouts, and they start the third quarter with the ball.
Right.
So you always talk about that end of first half, start of the second half, how the game could flip without Jamal Haynes and maybe without Chad Alexander. Now, a lot could happen in these next couple of possessions. Anthony Carey, a true freshman, in there at tailback as Philo's going to try to throw for it. Long throw to the sideline and a drop. Oh, they had it. Malik Rutherford open on the sideline, and it seemed catchable from Aaron Philo, and he couldn't hold on. And Miami will get the ball back again.
This is a beautiful throw by Aaron Philo.
5 has changed his jersey to 35.
On this three-level flood concept, they're going to hit Malik Rutherford. He's just running the speed out, and Philo lets it go early with great anticipation. Rutherford's got to pull that in. That's the kind of play that's a difference maker, as you're talking about. They sustain that drive and maybe get down here, maybe even tack on 3. That's a huge miss in terms of the conversion for Georgia Tech.
Instead, Miami now has a chance to put together back-to-back drives. A line drive kick here. Ray Joseph with a chance for a return. Flags thrown. So we'll see what kind of field position the U ends up with. 45-yard punt, an 8-yard return. And if the return stood, they'd have it near midfield. We'll see if they get backed up at all. But again, plenty of time on the clock for the Canes with their timeouts.
During the return, holding receiving team number 23. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll back Miami up. That's the first penalty. So Cam Ward started hot as he threw a seam route to Elijah Arroyo for a 74-yard catch-and-run touchdown. And since then, Miami has only been able to manage 3 points the rest of the half to this point.
The secondary for Georgia Tech, playing one of the best games of the season so far, challenging all the routes down the field, playing with physicality.
Jacoby George fights his way very close to a first down. Looks like he might be just a shade short. Kyle Eford was there to make the stop. 2nd down and a half yard. They go hurry up, they'll run for it, and they will get it. Damian Martinez getting a push and finally turned back at the 46-yard line. Down to 1 minute and 11 to go before halftime. Of course, the college football rules inside of the last 2 minutes, you get the benefit of the clock stopping when you pick up the first down. That saves them some time. Play action. Ward, he's going to take a shot for George. Walled off on the sideline by Amari Harvey. Good coverage for Harvey. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's how you draw it up if you're Amari Harvey. Off-man coverage, double move, then just fade into the wide receiver. Don't put your hands on him. A little hand fighting's okay, but I'll tell you, that's how you play off-man coverage when someone tries to run a stutter go on you.
And
then just cut him off.
Another injury. This time it's Sylvain Yunjuan, the 2nd oldest player in the ACC at 26 years old. He had a knee injury in the opening game last year, so he was given a 6th season. Grew up in Belgium, but then came over to play high school football at Don Bosco in New Jersey, and eventually ended up at Georgia Tech. A soccer player that took to football when he became a high school age sophomore. And hopefully he'll be able to get back on the field.
Yeah, he just needs a minute to go ahead and gather himself. He has had some really good reps, some really good pass rush reps recently, and he has shown up here today against this high-powered offense. They're going to need him as this game goes on.
One deep safety for Georgia Tech. Screen to Restrepo, open for a block. Nowhere to go. Again, Omar Daniels able to make a tackle and shut down a screen.
It's just great recognition.
First time out of the half. Be a 30-second timeout.
So Miami is going to call their first timeout. So Cam Ward here in the first half, 132 yards passing. And he is hoping to win the Heisman. Right now, you have to say, Lewis, probably a 4-man race for the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Hunter, he's just the best athlete in college football. One of the best athletes we have ever seen play college football. Ashton Genty just tearing it up. Dylan Gabriel, the former Oklahoma Sooner quarterback, he has looked fantastic out there in Oregon. I mean, those kids, all of them right there are fantastic. And just look at the similarities of the last 3 Heisman Trophy winners in terms of statistics to what Cam Ward is putting up right now. It's just almost a carbon copy across the board. And he is deservedly being mentioned with those 3 who are fine quarterbacks right there.
This play, I think, was blown dead at the line of scrimmage.
Prior to the snap, Georgia Tech takes its second time out of the half. The 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 57 seconds, 057. Thank you.
So with 57 seconds on the clock, each team with 2 timeouts. Interesting here, 3rd down and 9, because if Georgia Tech could get a stop, they now have 1 timeout left. They could even get the ball back before halftime.
They sure could.
Have a chance to even at least maybe move into field goal range.
Look, their deep downfield passing game, you know, with the freshman Aaron Philo in the game has looked like it's something that is capable of producing some chunk plays. So you're right. If they can get a big-time stop here with the way this secondary has been playing, they may have an opportunity. And this secondary for Georgia Tech looks like it's a little bit banged up as well. You don't see corner Warren Burrell out on the football field. They've made some adjustments. Rodney Shelley now out on the perimeter. Clayton Powell-Lee playing the nickel spot. So they're having to piecemeal it together a little bit as well.
Ward on 3rd and 9. Fires one over the middle. And he's got a hook up, and it's dropped. Sam Brown Jr. couldn't hold on. Again, it was Omar Daniels to deliver the strike that knocked the ball free. Boys, he had a hard-hitting first half.
You know I'm a sucker for a good safety play. Just watch this middle of the field play by Omar Daniels. Read the quarterback, put your foot in the ground and come straight downhill and separate the wide receiver from the football. That is textbook. You can't do it any better than that. Omar Daniels is having an absolute day. He is making plays against the run. His key and diagnosis has been on point. His deep field safety play has been on point. Cam Ward sitting there going, man, get me to halftime so I can kind of regroup.
Stockton lets this one bounce, and it spins inside the 10-yard line. That is well done on the punt by Dylan Joyce. So you have to think for Georgia Tech, they'll just be happy to get to halftime now.
Yeah, this offensive line, this counter run game, this gap scheme run game has just produced big play after big play. They've used the same play over and over again. You saw Jamal Haynes just rip off the explosive early on. They went right back to the same play again. Pull the backside guard and tackle, block down front side, get good angles. Then you see right there, he just puts the move on Jaden Harris. He's in the end zone celebrating. That's what you come to expect from an offense like Georgia Tech that is led by a head coach who was a former offensive lineman himself. You see Chris Wanke there on your screen. This team has run the football with abandon. It's really what they build their entire offense off of, and then the play-action passing game comes off of it. And there you see Brent Key on your screen. And when Haynes King is healthy and then he's running it, it's tough to deal with.
Haynes King is going to run it, and he's going to get free. Haynes King all the way out, close to the 40-yard line, and out of bounds, and that saves them their timeout. Jaden Harris forced him out, but that changes everything for Georgia Tech.
It's just the dying quarterback draw. Haynes just looks once and just finds a seam off to the right side of the offensive line, and he's got nothing but green grass.
Now they're going to put Aaron Philo back in. They were probably just going to try and run the ball and end the first half from inside their own 10-yard line, but a chunk play in the run game. And now Philo, he's going to take off and run, and he will not go anywhere.
And use that timeout.
Jalen Alderman, another stop for the Canes.
Georgia Tech takes its final timeout of the half. It's a full timeout.
We've got today's Old Spice player spotlight. And as we take a look at the quarterback comparison, of course, Haynes King is not going to be able to match Cam Ward through the air. His legs are going to be the way he'll do damage. Yeah. And Lewis, he just did so.
He sure did. Look, they're asked to do totally two different things. So don't get caught up on the numbers here going, this isn't really a spotlight, because it is. The effect that Haynes King is having on the Miami Hurricane defense, as far as the different ball handling they're using with the quarterback, the different motions designed to manipulate the second-level defenders and then make them have to be absolutely on point with their run fits with Haynes King and the way he can run the football, the way he can pull it, the RPO game. It just causes all kinds of problems. We know how good Cam Ward is. We know he will come out in the second half and he will be slinging it and he will be on it, because he's shown all season long that he will do that. But what an interesting contrast in styles between these two. And you see Buster Faulkner on your screen, the offensive coordinator who came over from Georgia, calling the plays here for Georgia Tech, and he's done a masterful job in the first half.
And now it's Haynes King back in with Anthony Carey, the true freshman, at tailback. 3 deep now at tailback, as they've lost Jamal Haynes, and it seems, at least for the time being, they've lost Chad Alexander as well. Now, Miami's got a couple of timeouts. They're not using them, and that might just take us to halftime. So Georgia Tech will have the lead going to the third quarter. And you'd have to say the biggest factor in the first half, Lewis, was that 10.5-minute drive for Georgia Tech that resulted in a touchdown, and Miami never got things going offensively after that.
They sure did. Look, they want more swings at it. They want more at-bats, that being the Miami Hurricane offense, and they're just not getting them right now. And the defense has to provide them for them.
Number 4. The Canes will start the third quarter with the football, but Miami, for the 4th time this season, begins the second half against an ACC opponent behind. Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, Chris Budden here in Atlanta. Familiar territory, Lewis, but a Miami team that normally flips a second half switch offensively. We'll see if they can today.
Yeah, they absolutely put the pedal to the metal in the second half. Traditionally so far this season, Cam Ward comes out with a lot of intentionality, gets the ball out of his hands quick. We'll see if he can do that again here today.
Chris Johnson Jr. muffs it in the end zone, so he will take a knee. Running the football in the first half for Georgia Tech, and you knew that was going to be the game plan. That kind of kept Miami's offense, it seemed, because they were on the sideline out of rhythm. What do you expect out of them in the second half?
Well, for Georgia Tech, I'd expect them to do a little bit more of the same. Look, they still want to control possessions, limit Cam Ward's possessions, be multiple in the way they attack, run this Miami defense sideline to sideline, and then hit them downhill, and then throw the football with play action.
Cam Ward with a handoff to Martinez. Turns the corner with some speed and has a first down. Let's go down to Chris.
Spoke of Brenke coming out of the locker room, trying to make sure his team stays locked in and focused. I asked him what he was pleased with, and he said nothing, and then smiled at me, which then I realized was maybe a dumb question to ask the former offensive lineman. But we did talk about how you handle success. He thought earlier in the season against Notre Dame they didn't do that, so he wants to focus on taking this 15 minutes at a time.
Well, at one point he had nearly 11 minutes with his offense on the field. That was a huge factor. Nice jump cut in the backfield by Martinez to get 8 more in the run game for the Canes. Again, we had 14 points in the first 3 minutes of this game, and then it was a low-scoring first half thereafter.
Bob, you said nice jump cut. That is a super sweet jump cut by a 230-pound running back.
This time Martinez right about at the first down line to gain. Looks like he's a half yard short.
Offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson said, look, Mark Fletcher and Damian Martinez, we mentioned it in the first half, they were going to have to play big roles as they go against teams that have maybe better secondaries that can give them some problems throwing the football. And you see them continuing to try and develop this run game. But make no mistake, as you see Shannon there on your screen, this will turn into the Cam Ward show at some point in time. They're going to lean on their Heisman Trophy prospect quarterback, and he'll have to take over this game.
They run it here with Martinez, and he spins for the first down. That's only their second third down conversion. Seymour and Harvey sandwich Damian Martinez. Again, Miami in the second half on average outscores their opponents by 17.5 points a game. They are as good as any second half team in America. And we have another player down. Amari Harvey. So already Warren Burrell has not seen the field. And now that's a starting corner down on one knee. So they've had some injuries in the secondary to deal with for Georgia Tech. Student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. Those guys got up early to prep for today's game.
Yeah, they did.
It takes some work. Maybe too much work. So after the injury to Amari Harvey, Warren Burrell is out of today's game as well. So down their starting corners right now for Georgia Tech. They'll run it again. Will UM with Damian Martinez. Cornelius Tatum meets him at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10.
These linebackers for Georgia Tech, Tatum, number 0, Kyle Eford, 44. They said that, look, their priority was making sure they shut down this run game. They wanted the challenge of trying to make Miami one-dimensional and see if they can stack up against Cam Ward. I have a feeling they're going to get their wish. That ball's going to be up in the air here soon.
Restrepo, always dangerous in the slot left. They'll run it again. A crease for Martinez. Pays the price to pick up 7.
You see there are some big-time hits. Tay Seymour, number 7, has been bringing it with his pads all game long. That's how these safeties are. You see him moving that right arm. It starts to hurt hitting a 230-pound running back. It starts to wear on you.
Amari Harvey back in. Martinez is short on third down. It's going to be 4th and 1. Another stop for Cornelius Tatum.
And you see the interior of this Georgia Tech defensive line. Thomas Gore, Big Zeke Biggers, all these guys are really fighting inside, trying to stay stout at the point of attack.
Here come all the big bodies for Miami. Georgia Tech's defense got to stop on downs towards the end of the first half. Miami will try and pick it up on 4th and 1, early third quarter. Mark Fletcher in the game. Play action. Ward wants to throw for it. Flips it. Near sideline. And complete. Another stop on downs for Georgia Tech. Fletcher, the intended receiver. Tajay Butler, freshman linebacker in coverage.
Cam Ward was ready to throw. Fletch just wasn't ready to receive the football. You're going to see him hitch right there. It just throws off the timing. Another stop
today. Of course, all of us at ESPN want to send all our good thoughts and prayers to everyone around the world that is serving our country, and our thanks to you for letting us enjoy this. The College Football Saturday with Georgia Tech on top by 4, and their best starting field position with Haynes King at quarterback. And he's going to try and run to the edge. He's got some blockers. He's got some room. He's got midfield. He's got a first down.
This run game has just been exquisitely designed. Just look at the reverse pivot there by the tight end. Number 85, Jackson Hawes, getting out on the perimeter, get flow going to the left, and then just pivot out of it. Design quarterback run to your right. You've got the edge. You have a short corner, and Haynes King just going to work at what he does best. His threat to run the football is a problem for defenses.
Anthony Carey empties the backfield. Singleton takes it. Goes to another first down. By the way, we have several members of our own broadcast crew who have served in our nation's military. Sean Erickson, member of the Army National Guard. Chuck Daly, a member of the Army as well. Mike Bellini, United States Marine Corps. And Nick Chromiak, a veteran of the Air Force. So we've got guys on our own crew that we can thank for their service.
Absolutely, and we do. We absolutely do.
Second down and 1. Haynes King fakes the toss. First down. Wrestled down by Kiko Mauinoa. But the run game continues to move the football for Georgia Tech.
Buster Faulkner just throwing everything at this Miami defense in terms of what the linebackers have to look at, how they're supposed to fit. Do I have force? Do I have contain? Do I have fill? Which side does my head need to be on? What leverage do I need to use? Haynes King makes you think about all that. And you know at some point in time, they're going to do one of these backfield actions, and he's going to throw the football, or they're going to bring Philo in, have him duplicate the same thing and throw the football.
214 rushing yards and 20 passing yards for Georgia Tech. Trey Cooley, welcome back. Trey Cooley was injured on the opening kickoff, the first play of the season when Georgia Tech played Florida State in Dublin. He hasn't played since until just now.
All they do is flip the formation and run that same counter play that Cristobal was talking about in the first half when he talked to Chris Budden about the fact that they're hitting them with the counters and they're just not fitting them and playing them with enough physicality. They just go the other way with it. And this is Trey Cooley running the football instead of Jamal Haynes. Brent Key says, look, until they stop it, keep running it.
Play action this time for King, but he's going to run it instead. Into the red zone, he's got a first down. And boy, he got hit hard. He's hurt. Wesley Bassain sandwiched him along with another tackler at the 16-yard line after he shook free from Tyler Barron. And Haynes King is trying to shake it off. He is a tough customer.
Yeah, that's Jaden Harris, who had put a big hit on Jamal Haynes that ultimately may have knocked him out of the game. You're going to see him come into your screen at the end of this play. Haynes King is on the ground. And then Jaden Harris puts a hit on him. He could have been called for a late hit personal foul. That's a questionable missed call right there on Jaden Harris.
Anthony Carey. 3 yards.
Now down here in the red zone, Georgia Tech has been good all season long. Second in the ACC in red zone scoring efficiency, 29th nationally. And why is that? It's because of the quarterback's ability to run the football, which is what every offense wants to do. Although now Aaron Philo is in the game. So now if you're Miami, you have to change your thinking a bit, knowing the ball may go up in the air.
So a true freshman quarterback that played really for the first extended time last week or a couple of weeks ago is in, and he's going to take a shot to the end zone. Incomplete for Singleton. You've got Philo at quarterback and Trey Cooley at running back, who hasn't played since opening day, the opening play of the season.
O.J. Frederic one-on-one against Eric Singleton, and Frederic has just been spectacular. They cannot say enough good things about this freshman corner. He has delivered everything they could ask for this year.
But Brent Key has had to dip down the depth chart. 3 different quarterbacks. And now you've got 8 different players that have carried the football today in a big third down. And a lob to the end zone. It's a 50-50 ball for Chase Lane. He's got it for the touchdown. The first career touchdown pass for Aaron Philo.
This is all about Chase Lane's ability to win at the line of scrimmage and then complete the spectacular catch in the end zone. Ball never touches the ground. He's able to keep it off the ground, keep it pinned to his shoulder pads. That's an uncommon effort, laying out, and then the strength to keep that ball off the ground, keep it pinned up to his shoulders, up to his chest. As corner Darryl Porter Jr. is trying to rip the ball out late. I don't see the ball hit the ground here. He's still fighting to secure it. And there he has it, 2 hands on it. That's a great individual effort on the part of Chase Lane. And if you're Aaron Philo, you put that right where it needed to be. Away from the defender, let your wide receiver go and make a spectacular play on it. That play all started at the line of scrimmage, Bob.
And it is officially a touchdown as the replay booth buzzes down and says, yes, they confirm. You know, it's amazing, as much as they have run the ball today, that is their second touchdown reception. 3 of their touchdowns, 2 coming through the air.
Can you say efficiency?
And now it's a 2-score lead for Georgia Tech. 6:46 to go in the third.
This is a brilliant release by Chase Lane against the corner, Darryl Porter Jr. And if you're Aaron Philo, you're going, hey, look, there's a reason why I hold prep throwing records in the state of Georgia.
Back to ESPN College Football, presented by Tyson Brand. This is Veterans Week on ESPN, presented by USAA. Well, the Canes have been here before. Not happy to be here again, though, after an 8-play, 61-yard scoring drive. Chase Lane from 15 yards out makes it a 2-score Georgia Tech lead. As Johnson Jr. runs it out from the goal line. And he barely gets past the 15-yard line. Time now for our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
All right, Lewis, as I said, Miami's been here before. They are one of 2 FBS teams with 3 double-digit comeback wins this season. Who's the other? That's our Aflac trivia question today.
I always do such a great job at these trivia questions, don't I?
If we give you enough time to use your phone, yes, you've been extraordinarily successful.
And to get some hints, yeah, you're right. That'd been awesome. Batting 1,000.
Cam Ward, well protected, scans the field from the pocket. Now it collapses, and he's going to throw this one to the sideline. And Restrepo couldn't hustle over. That was a throwaway. As much as anything else, it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You see, they are making Cam Ward hold the football. I don't know if I can't say definitively if he's second-guessing himself, but it just has not been in rhythm so far today. It's gone in spurts, but give the Georgia Tech secondary credit. They're playing some tough man-to-man coverage, challenge the football at the catch point in the pass rush. Rush lane integrity. You got to keep it, otherwise Tam will burn you.
Arroyo spins out to the 25-yard line before he gets planted. Another hit by Omar Daniels. 3rd down and 2 coming here for Miami.
Omar Daniels is having the game of his career. He's just making big play after big play. No Warren Burrell. They have to move Clayton Powell-Lee to the nickel. Move Rodney Shelley outside. That means Omar Daniels playing more. Everyone picking up the slack.
They gave him progress to the 26, so it's 3rd down and 1. And a timeout will be called on defense.
Georgia Tech takes its first time out of the half. There'll be a 30-second timeout.
So let's, while we have a moment, answer our Aflac trivia question. All right, Miami, one of 2 FBS teams this season with 3 double-digit comeback wins. You have a guess as to the other one?
I sure don't.
Who the other one is?
I have no idea.
Not even a guess.
No, I'm just going to let Aflac give me this one. So I never would have thought Iowa State. But you know what? What it shows you, though, is the level of like quarterback play and explosive playmaking ability in college football this year. I mean, we've seen some fantastic just individual efforts, team efforts. And Miami's going to need an individual effort on the part of their Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback and a team effort. They got to get some stops defensively if they want to get back in this game and pull out another win.
They're going to try and run for it, and they will get it with Martinez on 3rd down and 1. Well, obviously their craziest comeback was against Cal when they were down 25, but even last week against Duke, it felt like moments in that game they were legitimately on the ropes, and boy, they ended up running away from Duke in the second half and winning by 3 touchdowns. So they've got that capability.
Absolutely. And we haven't really even heard from Xavier Restrepo. He hasn't had an impact on this football game. And for them to get back in it, you have to start calling his name a lot more.
Instead, the quick hitter to the opposite side, getting Jacoby George in space. And he fights his way for about 8. Amari Harvey. And again, there's that man, Omar Daniels, helping on the tackle.
And that's the thing that this secondary has done. They have limited yardage after the catch to limit the explosives. Obviously, they let Arroyo get loose early on, look like more of a coverage bust.
Ward, a first down hookup. Now to about the 44-yard line. Back-to-back catches for Jacoby George.
We talked about one of the keys to the game for Miami. Take it what the defense gives them. Well, if they're going to let them run the football, or run the football with some effectiveness, you got to stay patient, continue to run the ball. You're down 2 scores, 11 points. And if the secondary is going to not allow you to big passing game, take the underneath passing game. Maybe you can break a tackle, produce an explosive that way. See Cam just looking over at defense, waiting for them to move. They don't move, they snap the ball.
Snaps a slant left to Isaiah Horton. He gathers information, and then he finds the hookup he wants.
He has to hit that quickly closing window in that cover 2 look. 5 underneath, 2 deep. Hits it in stride.
A quick handoff to Fletcher. A gain of a couple. You know, Cam Ward, that body language too, Lewis. Like you talk about that. You're trying to get a read on a player, and it's not just the measurables and how hard he throws it, but he has that cool, calm, collected, playing in slow motion. Don't worry, guys. I've got this quality about him.
Yep.
And it seems like these players respond to that.
Sure do. And Shannon Dawson said it's like playing basketball on the playground where you don't really care what the score is. Nobody's watching.
Ward floats out of the pocket to the sideline to Restrepo, who gathers it in. To Restrepo.
He finally finds a zone void, a hole, as he's working from right to left all the way across the field. You saw him flash on your screen there, and then Cam just drifts to his left and finds him.
Ward one-on-one for Jacoby George. Can't make the one-handed catch. Flag out. Zachary Toby, man-to-man on Jacoby George. And this will be pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty automatic. First down.
Toby was in perfect position. He jammed him at the line offhand. You're going to see it right here. Look, shuffle your feet. Wham, there goes the hand. Now let him go. Don't grab him. Don't hold his jersey. Just fade into him, push him to the boundary. Never lets go of the jersey. Just not a smart play. You're just giving up free yardage. You're giving the Heisman Trophy favorite another crack at it. You're letting him heat up. You're letting this offense gain some momentum. And if you're Cam Ward, you're going to take it. And he's going to make you pay. You can't give these guys a fresh set of downs. They're just too dangerous. And now they're knocking on the door.
First trip to the red zone for Miami. Remember, it was a catch and run for Elijah Arroyo for the touchdown on their first possession. Ward, another one-on-one. Drops it over the shoulder of Isaiah Horton for the touchdown. What a throw.
Big Isaiah Horton, all 6'4" of him. You see, there's the left foot down. He just puts on a brilliant move at the line of scrimmage against cornerback Rodney Shelley. See, he has that left foot down, has control of the football. Just beats him off the line of scrimmage. Now Miami going for two.
Dad loves it. And the Canes line up to go for two. They'll try and cut the lead down to 3. Ward. He loses the football. Oh, that was a live ball for a moment. A chance for a scoop and score for Georgia Tech. But they were down when they recover. Kyle Eifert all over Cam Ward. So this stays a 5-point lead for the Ramblin' Wreck. But Miami has made this a 1-score game.
Just man-to-man coverage across the board, and then watch Kyle Eifert. He's just going to track and then just shoot the gap. The reason why he's able to track Cam Ward down is because he doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. You see him scanning the field. It's this good man-to-man coverage. And Eifert saying, just hold on, boys, hold on. I'm tracking him down. And he finally gets him down. You see Cam, he goes full field read. And he's just trying to buy some time where he can put it up and give one of his guys a chance. Runs out of time. Kyle Eifert with his biggest play so far of the game. Gets the ball out. That's just good team defense, Bob. I mean, that's how you draw it up. Let the back end hold it down, give your rush time to work. You have your spy linebacker then just shoot the gap and say, look, it's time to go. You can't give Cam Ward all day long. He's shown he will burn you. But that's a good drive right there for Miami. They showed some things right there now where if you're Tyler Santucci, you got to get your secondary on the sideline and go, hey, look, we can't give these guys free yardage. And if you're matched up against, you know, guys like Horton and guys like Jacoby George, you better play perfect technique. They're too good. And they can win one-on-one down the field. And Shannon Dawson is saying Cam Ward win the game.
And if you were in the defensive box for Georgia Tech, would you be worried? Oh, did they just flip the switch?
Of course.
Offensively?
Of course. Are they starting to heat up? Yeah, exactly. And now you got to tell your guys, hey, look, we were ready for this. We know this is coming. So let's get prepared. Let's go out here and fight.
This season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities when they make a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, as always, to All-State. So now that run game for Georgia Tech, can they take control of the clock again?
Yeah.
Can they keep Cam Ward over on the sideline? That's been a big factor in this game as well. You take a rhythmic offense and put them on the sideline.
It takes them a while to get revved back up. You're exactly right. Can the run game continue to be the factor it's been?
Singleton turns the corner. First down and more. But they have really mixed it up in terms of running to the edge and running up the middle. Beautifully.
Defensive coordinator Lance Guidry suspected that they would get hit on the edges. He expected that from Buster Faulkner. Well, he's getting it, and his guys aren't responding to it. They have attacked the edges relentlessly all game long with these jet sweeps and different ways to get on the perimeter. And Singleton, along with Malik Rutherford, they have the speed to get out there and just produce plus 15, plus 20-yard plays at a blistering pace.
The toss to Trey Cooley. Bumped out of bounds by Maui Noah. But he picks up 4 on first down. And that will roll the clock with under 2 minutes to go in the quarter.
You'll take that all day long, won't you? Plus 4 or more yards on first down. Put you in 2nd and 6 or less. That's an offensive coordinator's dream. Now the clock keeps running. You can take your time. You see Haynes King not in a hurry. This is what you want if you're Georgia Tech.
Passing, Haynes King is 4 of 4 for 17 yards. And yet every time he's been in at quarterback, because of the run game, they've been able to move the ball. Cooley breaks a tackle, face mask call, and he gets pounded. Ruben Bain, it looked like, grabbed the face mask, and then Ahmad Moten may have gotten him with the crown of the helmet. Cooley's helmet pops off. Again, this is a team that's already without Jamal Haynes, already without Chad Alexander. They are down to Trey Cooley, who really, I guess, behind Anthony Carey, is their 4th string running back today. And now he is slow to get up.
Bob, that was a vicious, vicious hit.
This could be 2 personal fouls.
Right?
This could be face mask and targeting.
Right at chin level, right up underneath the top of the helmet. His helmet looked like it was already starting to come off. Just watch it here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Personal foul, illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 5. Personal foul, targeting a defensive player on the defense. That targeting component will be under further review.
Wow.
You can see the helmet coming off as the face mask was committed by Bain. If we all accept the risks of playing football as players, man, that is a dangerous play.
So there's the face mask. That was the initial call. The helmet's coming off. And again, Matt Austin is our officiating expert. Now, Matt, we've had a couple of potential targeting fouls in this game that have been picked up because there hasn't been the attack or the launch, that indicator. This might be different. This looks like this might be Ahmad Moten, where he really is launching into a player with the crown of the helmet. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The indicator, he definitely lowers the head, makes contact with the crown of the helmet, and he's definitely attacking with force. So I do think this one checks all the boxes for targeting, and I would expect this one to be confirmed.
You're just thankful that Trey Cooley has his helmet on somewhat still at the end of that play, because if his helmet had come off all the way, I have a feeling we'd be talking a little bit more about what kind of injury he suffered than just whether or not it was targeting or a personal foul. Very lucky at that point.
This is a 30-yard penalty you could be looking at all in. They could just about be in the red zone by the time all of the penalty yards get assessed. Here is the official call.
After further review, the targeting is confirmed. Number 99 has been disqualified. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that's 2 personal fouls on the same play.
But you're just playing hard as a defender, and you're just trying to hustle to the football and play with physicality.
And you only enforce 1 of the 2 personal fouls. So it is only a 15-yard penalty because they both occurred while the play was happening.
And look, you like the intensity. You love the intensity of the Miami Hurricane defense as far as them trying to play physical, separate the runner from the ball carrier. You just got to do it within the roles, and that's a dangerous play right there. You just kind of hold your breath for Trey Cooley as you see that helmet coming off.
Yeah, that was scary.
Very.
Only 1 accepted penalty if both penalties happen as the play is occurring. So a 15-yard foul to the 38-yard line of Miami. And a minute 13 to go in the quarter.
If you're Lance Guidry, the defensive coordinator for Miami, you have got to get your perimeter force defense squared away. That's where Georgia Tech is hitting you. And if you're Buster Faulkner, you're going, we're going to test you again. We're going to keep doing it. You haven't had an answer for it all day.
Anthony Carey in the game. Losing the football on the jet sweep was Singleton. And did Haynes King jump on top of it? It looks like he did to save the possession for Georgia Tech.
Bob, they had the edge again. They came with the jet sweep one more time. There you just see the exchange. It just isn't clean. Singleton may have been able to get that edge once again and get down the field.
Haynes King beat Ruben Bain to the football, but it's a loss of 4. And now Trey Cooley back in the game. That is great to see. Quarterback draw. Miami ready for it. Not fooled at all by Haynes King, possibly throwing the football as Chase Smith and Ruben Bain met at the quarterback, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. It'll be third down and long for Georgia Tech to begin the fourth. They've got the 5-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter here in Atlanta.
Miami has done in fourth quarters before. What will be important for your group in this last 15?
We worry about us playing our game. We got to stay on top of the ball on defense. We got to keep affecting the quarterback on the back end. We got to get off the field on third down. And if they go for it on fourth, we got to get off the field on fourth. We got to be efficient on offense. We got to keep these drives moving, though. Can't get these stall-out modes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Start of the fourth quarter, and Brent Key's team, if they want to keep this drive going, has to pick up 17 yards. Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick. And you saw Chris Button talking to the Georgia Tech head coach here at Bobby Dodd. Philo has a wide open crosser, and Bailey Stockton for a first down into the red zone. Wow, he picks up 27.
It all starts with the pass protection up front. Look at this offensive line, one of the best pass protecting offensive lines in college football. And then you see the freshman Aaron Philo. You want to know why this young man threw for almost 14,000 yards in high school, broke all of Trevor Lawrence's records in the state of Georgia? There it is. There's an example. He ripped that football to Bailey Stockton in that cover 2 zone, put it right on him. That's a big time throw. Perfect call for the cover 2 look, perfect protection. That's how you pick it up.
And Darrell Porter Jr. is down, the starting nickel for UM.
Well, today, Bob, remember, they had moved him outside because they've had multiple injuries at corner for Miami. Jadis Richard got hurt a week ago. They've been missing Damari Brown all season long, although they expect him to come back. They are super thin at the corner position.
So while we have this injury timeout, we will step aside as Darrell Porter Jr. is still down. As red zone offenses in the ACC going head-to-head. Miami, they're the best scoring offense in college football. They're number 1 in the red zone of the ACC. Georgia Tech is number 2. They've got Haynes King now back in at quarterback. Haynes King, great misdirection inside the 10-yard line. Close to a first down.
Haynes King just making all the right decisions in the offensive line up front. Just getting good angles, good push on this Miami defensive line. You see, look at the angles that they have. And then the blocking at the point of attack. You see they got a hat on Maui Noah, Francisco Maui Noah, the linebacker. And by the time they get a hand on Haynes King, he's already +5, +6 in terms of yardage gain.
Spin out for King. Flips it in the right flat to Cooley. First and goal at the 5.
That was a heck of a reaction by Chase Smith, the outside linebacker. He started to go with the flow as they faked the jet sweep. And you're going to see 41, Chase Smith go, you're not going to get me. I got to get on my horse. I can tell you what he was thinking in his mind. I just can't say it on TV. As he thought he was going to give up a touchdown. And you see him get on his horse and prevent the touchdown. I've been in that position. I can tell you exactly what he was saying.
Haynes King. Touchdown. And because Miami missed their 2-point conversion, this extra point, should it go through, and it does, pushes the lead to 12. And that's big. That's a 2-touchdown lead.
I give you credit on one play, Chase Smith. You come back next time and you get outflanked. You see him right there. He ducked inside when he was the force player, and Haynes King goes, thank you very much. I'll score 6.
In military history, 5 Medal of Honor winners have enrolled at Georgia Tech. And we are honoring our veterans certainly this weekend. A 12-point lead now for the Ramblin' Wreck over the Canes. Still a ton of time on the clock in Miami. They are no strangers to second half, even fourth quarter deficits. That's really their biggest rally of the season. They were down 25 at one point to Cal, including 21 in the fourth quarter, and came back and won. A fourth quarter comeback against Virginia Tech as well. But this would be their second biggest comeback of the season, Lewis. If they can pull it off, how do they do it?
They have to be efficient. I mean, the ball's got to come out of Cam Ward's hands fast. Receivers have to be on the same page. They have to protect the quarterback. And honestly, Georgia Tech has to give them some help. Have some coverage bust. It all goes hand in hand, but it starts with number 1.
He wants to get this drive started with a long throw, and he finds Jacoby George. Spin move. First down. Let's go down to Chris.
There is a quiet confidence about this Miami offense. Not a whole lot of talking, but they're getting some extra juice from a former Miami great. Michael Irvin on the sideline chatting up this offense. And before they just went out on that drive, he went up to Jacoby George. He goes, "You're going to make one play to win this ball game."
He just made a play to get that drive started. Seam shot. There's Jacoby George again. Back-to-back hookups as Jacoby George becoming a much bigger factor in the second half. He's got 22 more yards.
And they got him singled up one-on-one on safety Lamiles Brooks. He just stems him outside and then comes back inside on what they call a skinny post or a glance route. Cam Ward puts it right on him.
Ward, check down. Mark Fletcher into the red zone. First down. Out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, you're going to get a pass interference on Clayton Powell-Lee. Xavier Restrepo was trying to run a flag route, and he had him crossed up and was about to beat him, and he just had to reach out and grab him. This is exactly what if you're Miami, this is what you wanted. If you're Georgia Tech, this is where you better snap out of it. You better snap out of it
Holding.
quick.
Defense number 5. That penalty's declined. Offense will take the result of the play. First down.
If you're Miami, this is exactly what you want. Big chunk plays, big chunk gains. It's inherent in a defensive player's mind for them to kind of like almost relax a little bit in this kind of situation because you're looking at the scoreboard. You better snap your eyes quickly back to number 1 who's pulling the trigger because he will make you pay in a hurry, as you see.
He avoids a sack. Extending the play. And just heaves it to the sideline and throws it away. Youngjuan pushed the pocket, and Cam Ward had to throw it away. Well, again, UF number 1 in the country in scoring, total offense on third down. No team has more chunk plays of 20 yards or more. No team has more 500-yard games. No team's better in the second half in terms of lopsided scoring. And they've got forced. This could be their 4th second half comeback as well. So they can do this. And we'll see if Georgia Tech can survive. A lot of time on the clock.
And you're seeing guys come open late in the down in the secondary. Cam just has to find them.
Blitz coming. They sidearm a little tunnel screen. And Jacoby George gets bottled up and fights his way to about the 13-yard line to create a big third down. Romello Height, the USC transfer, made first contact. Jacoby George a little slow to get up. Has to be helped up.
Georgia Tech defense has been all over the wide receiver screen game of Miami all game long.
Jacoby George's got to go to the sideline, and he's down. He was hurt initially. They helped him up. And rather than going to the sideline, he goes down, and they're going to come out. I think look at his wrist. An injury timeout, so we will step aside. Bob and Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden, back here in Atlanta. The most prolific scoring team in the second half, really the most prolific scoring team, period, in college football is Miami. And they are trying to come from behind again in the red zone. A big third down here without Jacoby George on the field. Cam Ward underneath. Sam Brown gets bottled up. Now a field goal doesn't do a lot of good for Miami. They would still be down by 2 scores. So they're going to go for it, Lewis, with a little under 11 minutes to go. And they're going to bring Jacoby George back in.
Now you figure, if you're Tyler Santucci, what are you trying to do? You're trying to heat him up. You're trying to go ahead and bring 5 or more, put some pressure on Cam. You can't let him sit back there and just wait for somebody to uncover. You got to make him uncomfortable in some way. And you've got to play good man coverage. And if you're Cam Ward, you're expecting it.
Cam Ward flags down, backpedals, extending the play, throws into the end zone. Caught! Isaiah Horton with a touchdown. If it stands, we've got 2 different flags thrown. There are 3 flags in total on the field.
I think this is coming back, Bob. I think we may have like a holding. There's a lot of action going on in this play, man.
I think one of the penalties is a man downfield against the Canes.
Oh, there's a lot.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. An eligible receiver downfield on the offense. And the 50, that penalty is declined. Holding offense number 61. The 10-yard play is accepted. A replay 4th down.
Now it's 4th and 16.
We get a holding here on Francisco Mauigoa. You see him just grab number 32, Nanjuan, and then Zach Carpenter releasing down the field, illegal man downfield. As those plays take long and you're trying to hold your blocks, you're just desperate to keep your pass rushers off of your quarterback.
And even though it's 4th and 16, which is very low percentage, they're still going to go for it. As a field goal makes it a 9-point game. Here's the blitz. Ward, sandwiched, down he goes. The 3rd time Georgia Tech takes it away on downs. Gore got there first.
You just watch the pass rush. Watch Big Zeke Biggers here. They come out. They come with the blitz. They know they just can't sit back and wait, and you just see them just continuing to push the pocket, push the pocket. It was Thomas Gore, not Zeke Biggers, 59. You see him just pushing the pocket against Matthew McCoy. Doesn't give up. They hold the coverage in the back end. That's just great individual effort, great team effort. Back end coordinated with the front end. It's another big stop for Georgia Tech defense.
Haynes King. No gain on 1st down. Marley Cook made the stop for the Canes. So still a ton of time left. And Miami, they have their timeouts. There's 10 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time to get the ball twice. But now they really, Lewis, are playing without a net. Down by 2 scores.
You've got to get a turnover. You got to get an immediate stop. This has to be a 3-and-out drive for Miami right now.
Haynes King out. Aaron Philo in.
They need possessions. Got to get off the field.
Philo to throw. Rutherford on the screen. And they're going to get a chance on 3rd down to get that 3-and-out. And a little extra after the play's over. Ruben Bain tied up with Janah. Frederick.
Yeah, O.J. Frederick just getting after it here, down here outside the pile. You're going to see it right here. Maybe gets away with a little extracurricular. Just got to be smart. If you're Miami, you need the ball back. You cannot give Georgia Tech extended possession. You cannot let them pick up first downs. You got to play with some poise here.
Georgia Tech takes its first time out of the half. Please just set the game clock to 8 minutes, 37 seconds, 8:37. Thank you.
Now the Sunday NFL Countdown crew has you covered for Week 10 at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then the Monday Night Countdown crew will get you set for Dolphins-Rams Monday at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will have the game call from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes. Hayden and Eli once again on ESPN2 as well. Third down and 4 after this timeout for Georgia Tech with 8.5 minutes to go. And they have been very good at milking the play clock all the way down as well. So every first down is good for, especially considering the fact that they, with their run game, it's taken them 3 downs to pick up a first down. It's almost like they pick up a first down, it's another 2 minutes off the clock right there. So you're right, Miami really needs to get a stop on this play.
And if you're Lance Gaither, you're telling your signal callers, you're telling your linebackers, you're telling Kiko, you're telling the rest of the crew, secure the edges. The perimeter run game. Let's play smart. Don't let these runners get outside. Don't let Singleton, Rutherford get out on the perimeter. Don't peek inside. Play your assignment. And if you're Georgia Tech, you're going, look, we've been hitting these guys all game long. Run and pass. And now with Aaron Philo in the game, they're going to put it up in the air. Just run the route, get the ball out on time, no sacks, protect the football.
And they go empty. Only a 3-man rush. They still find a crosser, but Philo misses. He threw it behind Singleton. It looked like Singleton had a catch-and-run step. If Philo's able to put it on him. And instead it will be that 3-and-out that UM needed.
It's an easy first down on this shallow cross. It's an easy first down. Maybe he was affected by Ruben Bain getting that big left paw up in the air. That's just got to be an easy throw and catch. That's a first down and you're rolling. If you're Miami, you're going, that's exactly what we needed.
Ray Joseph fights the sun and fields the 45-yard punt. So Cam Ward a chance to go back to work with 8:24 to go, needing 2 scores.
You see him, 67% completion percentage on the season, 20 of 32 today. Look, he has thrown 29 touchdowns so far this year to lead FBS. And he can heat up in a hurry, and he needs to work with some urgency. They need 2 possessions out of this. They need the ball back, so they can't just take their time. They've got to get some chunks, and they got to get this ball down the field. And then get off the field again and get it back one more time.
Blitz coming. Ward goes down. Kyle Eifert. He's hurt, but he gets the sack. A loss of 10.
Timeout on the field for a player injured on the defense.
You're going to see Tyler Santucci sends Eifert. You see him disguising it, and then he's just going to come, and you see him get his arm extended as he tries to get Cam Ward on the ground. You see him immediately grab that right shoulder. He disguises that blitz perfectly, hits it from depth.
He is a heart and soul player.
He sure is.
On that defense.
You see the strap on his right shoulder, on his right arm.
He's going to want to go back in there and play with one arm.
Probably. Look, Mario Cristobal told us that Tyler Santucci, this defensive coordinator, that his 3rd down blitz package in particular was elite. that he can dial them up and disguise them and show you different looks as good as anyone. And his offensive line and Cam Ward, we're going to have to be great at identifying it. There's an example.
Fletcher. Only a three-man rush, so there was nowhere to go down the field with the ball. And even the check down ends up in an unforced error. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 20 with 7:49 to go.
I love the cat and mouse, the chess game. That time, what does he do? He shows blitz. He got people walked up into the gaps. Drops 8, rushes 3. It's that cat and mouse going on back and forth between Shannon Dawson and Tyler Santucci. It's awesome. This is exactly what you love about high-stakes football in the 4th quarter. The matchups.
Again, they creep 5 up to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to rush with 5. Ward, there's the check down. Fletcher, dodging tacklers, makes it 4th and manageable. Let's see if they go for it again. You'd think they probably would. 4th and 7 with 7.5 minutes to go.
They sure did. That time they just played a version of cover 2, protected it top down. Now they got to see if they can do it couple more times.
And they waste no time snapping it. Cam Ward looking downfield. Jacoby George breaks free. And they finally have a 4th down conversion. Sorely needed. And the Canes keep the drive alive. And George is hurt. He got planted. Hit hard by Amari Harvey. He has been their hottest second-half receiver.
He did a great job of staying alive on the play. Cam had to hold the ball. He got off script. Then you just see him fade inside. Against Amari Harvey, you're going to see him here. He sees Cam's in trouble, just looking to find an open receiver, finds a zone void, goes up and makes the catch, and then gets hit and driven to the ground by Amari Harvey. Again, Cam Ward just scanning the entire field. No pass rush, not under duress.
For Jacoby George, 77 of his 87 yards have come in the second half. So they do not want to lose him. He has been Cam Ward's most reliable second half target. And with 7:11 to go, they're worried about whether or not he's going to be able to return.
And if you're Georgia Tech, this is what you're worrying about. You come after him or play coverage.
Well, coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ABC and ESPN Plus, we'll head to Oxford. Number 3 Georgia, number 16 Ole Miss. And they'll cap the night in Death Valley, number 15 LSU and number 11 Alabama. 2 huge SEC games still to come. It's the SEC on ABC, a great doubleheader. And we'll be kicking off soon, 3:30 Eastern on ABC and ESPN Plus. Colby George able to walk off to the sideline. Hopefully he'll be able to return. Helmet back on. That's good to see. So after a big 4th down conversion, the Canes very much alive. Turning around and make the catch is Sam Brown Jr. fighting across the midfield stripe. He's got a 1st down.
There you see Santucci decided to bring some extra heat, try and change it up again on Cam Ward. Nice route by Sam Brown, understands the situation, getting off coverage, comes out of the break clean. Cam puts it on him. Again, the chess match, the back and forth, mixing up pressures versus zone. Cam identifying what are they bringing. Are they playing zone, man coverage? Getting it all.
Cam Ward, one-handed catch made by Martinez. Cam Ward now well over 300 yards for the 9th time this season. We've got 2 injured Yellow Jackets on the play. Trinilius Tatum was slow to get up, and Romello Height behind the play is also hurt.
Timeout on the field. Injured players on the defense.
Micaiah Scott. So a defensive tackle in Micaiah Scott. is down.
Please reset the game clock to 6 minutes, 20 seconds, 6-2-0. Thank you.
And Tatum down on one knee as well.
There's a big-time collision between Cornelius Tatum and Damian Martinez. We talked about it earlier. Martinez is 232 pounds. Here in the fourth quarter, when you're tired and you've been going up against big boy all game long, those hits start to take its toll. You just hope that Tatum's okay. You see how his head gets turned to the right. Takes a big shot. That's a lot of running back coming at you with a head of steam. Then you see Micaiah Scott there down on the ground. Looks like maybe a cramp situation, pulling that toe back on his left leg. Giving him some hydration on the field. This is big time, Bob. I mean, this is big time football right here. Guys are really getting after it. This is a battle of wills at this point. Can you hold on if you're Georgia Tech, and if you're Miami, can you put the gas to the pedal, put the pedal to the floor again and pull another one out?
Blitz coming. They pick it up. Ward takes a shot down the sideline, in stride. He's got Restrepo. Touchdown. And a ton of time on the clock. Xavier Restrepo does it again. Touchdown number 10 on the year. And Cam Ward's third of the day. He's up to 32 touchdowns this season. That's a Miami record. 38 yards. Can the Cardiac Canes do it again? They're within a score.
I mean, this is just great execution against man coverage. You're going to see Restrepo running out and then an up. He's going to get a clear out, and you're going to see Cam just reverse pivot and just wait for him to run the route. There he is, reverse pivot, good protection, just sets up. That ball is gone before Restrepo comes out of the break. And that was one of the one-on-one matchups that were going to be key in this game. Restrepo against Rodney Shelley in the slot. It's just man-to-man coverage. Rodney Shelley tries to undercut the out route. You see the angle he took. He thought he was running a speed out. Thought he could just slingshot himself in off coverage to undercut the route and maybe get a pick. And Restrepo goes, nah, guess what? I'm about to turn this upfield. It's the perfect call. You see him there. He looks back at the quarterback. That's the key for the wide receiver. He looks back at the quarterback. He makes the DB think the ball's coming, and then he snaps his head around and takes it up the field. The DB's already lost a step. He's already gained leverage on you, and it's going to be 6. That's great route running on the part of Restrepo. Great pass protection on part of the Miami offensive line. Just great overall execution.
Singleton brings it out. And Singleton barely gets to the 15-yard line. Let's go down to Chris Button.
Bob Brenke has talked a lot about, for this program to move forward, we have to have confidence. Confidence in doing the little things right. I asked him yesterday, how do you do that knowing you're a double-digit underdog heading into today? And he said, number 10. Number 10 is what gives this team the confidence. Haynes King out here bleeding from both knees, slow to get up after every play. But this team rallies around him, not just as a player, but as a leader.
And he is in there, Lewis, with the football and 6 minutes to go. And they could end the game without ever giving the ball back to Miami. But now Miami has some wiggle room. Zone read. King stopped after a gain of 3 by Maui Noah.
Now, if you're Miami, especially the linebackers, when Haynes King is in the game, you have to be on point with your run fits. You cannot have a mistake. You cannot get out of a gap. He will make you pay. So if you're Kiko Mauinoa, Jalen Alderman, you have to be on top of it. You have to tell your D lineman, stay in your gap. Play with some strength in terms of your block integrity. Hold the line of scrimmage because you know what's coming.
Mauinoa all over lane. No gain. Third down.
One of the ways to take some indecisiveness out of it for your players is to send them. And that time Mauinoa, he was coming from the snap, coming downhill saying, look, I'm not sitting and waiting on anything.
And now in what seems like a passing situation, Haynes King out and the true freshman Aaron Philo in. Third down and 8.
Man coverage.
Philo backpedaling off his back foot, floats one, a sliding first down catch. Malik Rutherford.
You're going to see Rutherford this play, and they were playing quarters up at the very top, 4 over 3, and that's just a great route by Malik Rutherford. You see, he gets up on the safety. You see him there. You see that box that they're playing. It's just 4 on 3. And he gets the safety stumbling. Number 20, Zaquan Patterson. Great play call on the part of Buster Faulkner. Excellent route by Malik Rutherford.
Good run for Trey Cooley on first down. The gain of 5. Now Miami scoring as quickly as they did, having over 6 minutes on the clock, does give their defense the ability to give up a first down, and still with their timeouts and the 2-minute timeout coming, they didn't have to get a 3 and out. But they still have the ability to, even if they give up a first down on this series of downs, use their timeouts. They've got some room for error to get the ball back to their offense, but they're going to run out of that room pretty quickly if they can't stop Georgia Tech's run game. The toss to Cooley. Out of bounds. That's probably not what he wanted to do. A yard shy of the first down. Stops the clock just for the moment with 2:58 to go.
Yeah, you would have liked to have seen him turn that ball upfield. Maybe pick up the first down. Obviously, he had 2 defenders staring him right in the face. But again, from a strategy standpoint, from a tactics standpoint, attacking the edges. They've been able to get on the perimeter of this Miami defense all game long. And there you see it, 275 yards rushing today against this defense that has not given up on average over 100 yards all season. Top 10 in FBS at 95.2 yards.
Huge play here, 3rd and 1. Haynes King, he won't get it. Jalen Alderman made the stop. That's going to take us down to the 2-minute timeout if Miami doesn't use a timeout north of the 2-minute.
You talk about run discipline. That's discipline. Akeem Mesidor takes the dive. Alderman right where he needs to be. That's great team defense from Miami in a critical situation.
Bob Shoes and Lewis Riddick, Chris Button back at Bobby Dodd. And what a final 2 minutes presented by Allstate we might have. Miami gets the stop.
Miami takes its first time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Interesting. So the Canes call a timeout on special teams. And you wonder if they're guarding against a fake here as Mario Cristobal spends a timeout with the clock stopped. They still have 2 left. But he was worried about something that he saw. And maybe he sees a Georgia Tech team that might pull out all the stops at 5 and 4 to grab an upset against number 4 at home. and thought there was a fake possible.
There's no question.
That was coming?
No question on 4th and short like this. On 4th and 3, he wanted to make sure that Brent Key didn't have something up his sleeve. Probably didn't like the look in some way. You don't hustle down there and call that unless there's something.
And the conventional punt is down the sideline. Takes a hop out of bounds. As we said, could the cardiac Canes Lewis do it again? It would be number 4 on the season if they pull this out.
You see, look, they have got the Heisman Trophy front runner pulling the strings right now. He is at the command and control center. And as we were talking about in the break, this is a Heisman type of moment for him. On the road, down once again, ball's in his hands. Game on the line.
And the blitz coming. A one-on-one to the outside. Back shoulder. Incomplete. Isaiah Horton was walled off by Toby. 2nd and 10.
That's good one-on-one cornerback play from Zachary Toby. Didn't panic, didn't grab, couldn't get his head around, just tried to play the eyes and the hands without interfering. These corners are going to be up against it now, because you can best believe it's going to be one-on-one. Toby versus Horton, somebody against George. Restrepo is going to make his impact on this game here in this drive at some point in time. Can you make the plays before Cam Ward makes you pay?
Only a 3-man rush. The pocket collapsing though. Ward buying time. Hit from behind. The ball pops out. Georgia Tech's got it. Romello Height with the strip sack.
Georgia Tech only rushes 3. And Romello Height just continues to work as Cam is trying to find an open receiver down the field against that zone coverage. He had Jacoby George coming open, but couldn't locate him in the middle of the field. Probably would have been a walk-in touchdown. And Romello Height, who has shown up recently with his pass rush, just keeps working, comes around the horn, and is able to get the strip sack. Wow.
Trey Cooley, sandwich to the 15-yard line. Timeout number 2 called by Mario Cristobal. And boy, how much would he love to have that 3rd timeout back.
Watch Romello Height. And then watch Jacoby George late in the middle of the field. Cam just can't find him. Just watch the whole play unfold. Romello Height just keeps working, and just you see Jacoby George standing at the plus 45-yard line. Cam just can't find him. You see, he's looking to his left. Jacoby George hasn't uncovered yet. He looks back left again. Jacoby's now uncovering, but his eyes have come down. He takes 2 hands off the ball. The ball's down by his right leg, and Height causes the strip sack. And as you see, Brett Key, his guys have fought all game long. Just back and forth. And you see Cam Ward right there just thinking, just couldn't find George uncovering in the middle of the field.
Haynes with only 1 timeout left. A field goal. It's still a 1-possession game. Haynes King, the 15-yard line. There's the final UM timeout. So they could take the clock well down inside of a minute on this next play. But a field goal, it's an 8-point game.
Miami takes its final timeout of the half. Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 29 seconds. 1:29. Thank you.
So Miami could get the ball back. But well under a minute to go. Should they get the ball back, and even if they hold to a field goal here,
with no
they would
timeouts,
need
right?
8.
Yeah.
And they would be out of timeouts.
Right.
So having to use that timeout to guard against what maybe he thought was a fake punt, Mario Cristobal, he'd have a lot more time for his offense. You could certainly understand why he was worried, though, that a team might dial up a let's go try to win the game on this play moment. He raced down there to try and save the game for his team.
In a 4th and 3 situation with a coach who right now is saying, look, I'm going to do anything to try and win this game, to take this game from you. It was a smart move on the part of Mario, especially if he saw something. If he saw something that said, hey, look, there's a high probability they're going to try and fake this. And then you had your opportunity. I mean, Jacoby was coming open in the middle of the field. But Cam just couldn't find him. I mean, that's just kind of like, that's how football goes. I mean, there's opportunities that are there that you just can't take advantage of. You wish you had that extra timeout, especially if you can hold them to 3. Who says they can hold them to 3? Who says Georgia Tech can convert? If they do attempt a field goal, there's a lot still yet to be determined here.
Singleton. He's going to go slide down inside the 5-yard line to end the game. Now they can take a knee. Smart play by Eric Singleton.
Leaders at the game clock to 1 minute 23 seconds. 1, 2, 3, thanks.
They have hit Miami with these jet sweeps all game long, and they have not had a single answer for it. Lance Guidry knew it was coming. He told us he expected them to try and get on the edges, get the ball outside. That's exactly what Buster Faulkner, offensive coordinator, did, and they had no answer.
Brent Key said, you need a signature win to convince everyone that a program is building something special. I think this qualifies.
There's going to be some fun on this campus here tonight. This is big time for this university, for this football program, for what Brent Key is trying to build. This is what you love about college football. I mean, it's just been an incredible season so far.
Even with this loss, the Canes still have a very high probability pathway to the ACC championship game and could very easily be a college football playoff team. But they absorbed their first loss of the season, and what a scene at Bobby Dodd.
There go the goalposts.
And you think the coach is enjoying this one? Georgia Tech pulls off the upset down to Chris Button.
Coach, with Haynes next to you, injured, running the football the way that he did, what did he give you today?
I can't hear you.
What did Haynes King give you today?
He played. He played.
Defensively, you hold the highest scoring team to 23. You get the strip sack at the end. How were you guys able to
play the next play? Play with each other, play for each other.
As you look around, what are you most proud of right now?
These kids, this school, Georgia Tech, the city of Atlanta.
Enjoy it.
Louis Riddick, you were saying, what makes college football great?
It's these scenes. Isn't it incredible? I mean, Brent Key was so confident yesterday when we met with him. He said, we're going to